Hey you guys, this is Ann Parham, and in today's video I am going to share with you how I prepare my spaghetti squash to meet my nutritional meal plans. So I baked a spaghetti squash in my oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes or so, or until my spaghetti squash is soft to the touch, and then I just basically generously scrape out the seeds right into the trash can. While I was kind of cutting my spaghetti squash in half, I put a little avocado oil in a saute pan and put 2 cloves of garlic in there and just sort of browned the cloves of garlic. And now I'm just scraping out my cooked spaghetti squash, you know, just right into the pan with the oil and the garlic. A medium spaghetti squash usually gets me about 2 servings of a green container. So I got the other half over here. I've already seeded that one, and I'm going to go ahead and just scrape that into the pan. Now I cook this just long enough to where the spaghetti squash becomes sort of translucent or a little limp. So it's going to look like cooked spaghetti basically when it's ready to eat. Now it's already cooked because I did bake it in the oven, but I like to saute it in the avocado oil and the garlic just for a little extra flavor, and it makes it a little more tender. And then I go ahead and just throw a little extra avocado oil on the top just so it stays moist, and then cooks sort of to that limp texture that we kind of like to have with our spaghetti squash. So I'm just going to let that cook up in the pan until it becomes a little bit more translucent. Okay, so while that's cooking, I am going to get out my spaghetti sauce, and this is a marinara sauce that I found at Sprouts. It's all natural. So here's the ingredients that are in there. Everything is very recognizable. There's nothing in there that I would need to be concerned about. And you can see there's low sugars in there. I think there's 1 gram of sugar. So I cook my spaghetti sauce on the stovetop. I do not warm it up in the microwave because it is so natural, and all the ingredients in there are so great just as they are. I don't want to lose any of the nutrients in microwave cooking. So I will go ahead and just warm this up with a saucepan on top of my stove. If you're following the containerized systems with Hammer Chisel or the 21-day fix, spaghetti sauce for us goes into the purple container, and that's a pretty generous portion of spaghetti sauce. So I usually get about 2 to 3 servings of spaghetti sauce out of 1 jar like this. So you do end up getting a pretty nice portion in your spaghetti squash. So it looks like my spaghetti squash is getting pretty close to where I need it to be. And what I will do is I'm going to start plating and preparing some of the other items that will be in my dinner for this evening. So this is what my containerized food looks like before I put it in my bowl. I've got my portioned out cooked spaghetti squash. So you can see that's a pretty nice portion there. And greens are one of those containers that's really hard for people to kind of fill up and use. So I'm going to go ahead and add an extra green of spinach, and that is raw spinach in there. And then I have some warmed up ground turkey meat, which is our protein. We're going to just layer it right on top of the spinach. And then I have my spaghetti sauce all measured out. You can see that's a pretty generous portion, and that's hot spaghetti sauce. So what that does when you sandwich that all in there with the spinach is it actually cooks the spinach right there in the bowl, so the spinach will become nice and limp. And then I just top it with a blue container of some freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. So there you have it, 2 greens, a red, a purple, and a blue, and a nice portion of spaghetti squash that will meet the Hammer and Chisel and 21-day fix portion controlled meal plans. Enjoy your spaghetti squash.